Hello and welcome to the Poorhammer Podcast, episode 151. I'm your host, Brad. This is my co-host, Eric.
How's it going?
And today is our first mythical episode, the Mew of episodes.
Ah, okay. I was like, what were you talking about?
This episode, much like Mew, is found under a pickup truck in the city. You just have to use strength on it.
Yeah, obviously, this is the strongest episode.
It's great for metronome runs.
Don't know what that means, but yes, I agree too. I understand Pokemon.
And today, we are getting into some memery with another round of meme lists. That's a very hard word to say, lists. It always feels wrong on a microphone.
Sure.
This opening is probably a disaster because Berilio loves these cuts. Anyway, here's another round of meme lists you should never run. This time, we themed them all on Grotmas.
Sounds good.
All right, to start off, we're going to do a couple that aren't that crazy that we just thought were cute. And then we're going to get into some real stupid shit.
Yeah. Generally, when we make meme lists, there's like, you know, the scale of like, this is the stupidest thing ever to like, this is a real list, but like, it's got a weird flavor to it. Generally, we try and make them exciting and interesting. I'm not sure this guard one is going to be exciting and interesting to the vast majority of people, but this meme exists for you, Tempestus Scion users.
Owner of the Tempestus Scion Codex from 6th edition or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's exactly what you would think. Basically, you go all in on Tempestus Scions. I guess technically there's the newer ones, but like, ain't nobody got time for that. So you can start with, you know, the Militarum Tempestus Command Squad and give them the upgrades so that turn them Warlord or whatever it is to turn on Tempestus Scions or Battle Line. So we get 6 of those now. Yay! And since they're able to be led by 2 leaders, we'll max out on the command squads and psychers because psychers going in the unit get the buffs and they've got a really cool gun. I mean psychic ability. I mean gun. So jam those together and then may as well grab commissars and the priests, put those together on 3 more. And then obviously for the like main command squad psycher 3s, we'll have the Thorax Prime that they jump in. So like that group is pretty actually scary. Because, like, you know, you get the reroll hits of 1. When you disembark, you add 1 to wound. You have sustained hits 1, and you get the reroll wound so long as the Thorax hits something. On top of all, like, the orders and, like, the actual guns and all that stuff. Honestly, really scary. There's a few more points that I decided, wouldn't it be fun if we had some indirect fire? So let's add some field ordnance batteries and a heavy weapon squad. Everybody loves those. Yeah, it's like, it's a meme list because, like, look at it. But like this is a solid list for what the detachment's trying to do, and I'm not the person who owns 60 Tempestus Scions, but I feel like those of you out there who do own that would absolutely love to run this list. So meme, but not really.
I feel like looking at the amount of characters in this list is already a bit of a meme, which made me think of a different thing we can do for guard at a later date. Ignoring that fact though, yeah, this one just kind of looks like what they, other than the character part being hilarious, looks like what they kind of envisioned you playing with this detachment, other than they wanted you to play the new Flyboys that you can buy right now, buy.
Yeah, the Tempestus Aquilans or whatever, but like, nah. We're going back to the old school. We've had these 60 Scions for the last decade. Let's play them.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not the most insane meme. It is a very funny slant list, though. The characters bring it a little overboard, especially I like the cuteness of the Psyker because psychic abilities are guns gets the reroll.
Honestly, adding that Psyker in with the command squad leader on them with all of the buffs, it's pretty scary. The other 3 Scions being led by commissars and priests, I went a little crazy on that one. I was like, I gotta meme this up a little bit.
The preacher's weapon is called a holy pistol.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's actually true.
I just went and checked on New Recruit. It is indeed holy pistol. And for some reason, it's strength 4.
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
How big is this pistol on a guard? Anyway, fine list. We can go into my first one. This one is a low tier. It's not really super memey, but it's extremely satisfying to look at. I made a Drukhari list using Reaper's Wager. It is obviously Harlequin soup. The point of the list, though, was to be very symmetrical. And I mean like really symmetrical, not just 1,000 points of each. On the Drukhari side, we've got 3 characters, an Archon, a Homunculus, and a Succubus, as they want you to do. On the Harlequin side, we have a matching Troop Master, Shadow Seer, and Death Jester. So we've got the triple 3 types of leaders on each side, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, it's kind of feeling like real Space Raiders of, you know, the split, but keep going.
Realer Spacer Raiderers.
Yeah.
So then we did the classic on the Drukhari side. 5 Racks, 10 Witches, and we did 5 Incubi instead of 10 Cabalites for reasons. So the Archon will lead Incubi, and then everyone else leads their normals, right?
Yeah, that's still pretty normal and expected.
Pretty bog standard, but it's not Cabalites. On the Harlequin side, the Death Jester is obviously a lone op, so he's not leading anything. So we did 5 troops for the Troop Master and 5 troops for the Shadow Seer.
Nice.
Then we've got 6 set of Reavers on the Drukhari side, which are the Bikers, for those who don't know their Drukhari names. Then we have 6 Skyweavers over 2 units on the Harlequin side of things, so we've got 6 bikes on both ends.
Yeah, I think I like the Harlequin bikes a little bit more, but...
They're sick. Back to the Drukhari side, we have 2 Ravagers, which are their tank equivalent, and then we've got 2 Void Weavers, which are the tank equivalent for Harlequins. And I'm using air quotes here because neither of them look much like tanks.
No, but like they're the Eldar style tank thing.
And then to finish off the Drukhari side, we've got a pair of Venoms, and to finish off our Harlequin side, we've got a pair of Starweavers. So this is like a perfectly symmetrical list if you ignore the fact that there's randomly 10 more infantry on the Drukhari side because of the lone up for snot thing.
Yeah, that's like the only kind of miss, but like even then, it's not that big of a deal.
It helps make up for the fact that Reavers are literally like a third of the point cost of Skyweavers.
Yeah.
The bikes are not the same in these 2 factions.
But yeah, that is a pretty good split. Like the detachment obviously wants you to do, you know, 1k on one side, 1k on the other side. But like, this is a good split.
And like, it makes sense. You can put your 2 lead squads of troops in the Starweavers. You can put the 5 Racks and 5 Incubi into a pair of Venoms. You leave the Witches alone off with the Succubus, just chilling out somewhere, being a threat on midboard, whatever. And then everything else is just bikes and tanks, right? And the Death Jester, obviously, he goes solo and just hangs out wherever too. I do know that normally you would put a Death Jester alone in a Starweaver. Don't fucking at me.
Okay, I was like, there's an obvious...
Yes, I remember the beginning of 10th edition and the trick in 9th edition. I know my shit. Fuck off.
But no, this is legit.
Yeah, and I gave each side a enhancement for what it's worth so that they would each have 1 enhancement. It's very cute. I ended up at like 1995 points total because enhancements are mean and I couldn't use the Reaper's Cowl because it's 5 too many points in this amazing list, but whatever.
Not bad.
It's a very fun, like, it almost feels super basic, but at the same time, like, it's very rewarding to look at this list.
Yeah. And I think that's why, like, kind of doesn't hit the meme tier of like the, oh my god, this is a fucking laughing joke kind of thing, because this is a legit list.
It's more a look at this achievement.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah, it's a very satisfying show off to like walk up to the table and be like, look at what I did in this list building. Isn't it neat?
Yeah, it's like those sand art videos.
Yeah.
As you watch it and you're like, huh, I guess that is satisfying.
And I have to say, while we're talking about this subject, we found it, and this is a good thing. This is like a good thing for Grotmas. We found it a little hard to meme list these because a lot of them were just stuff that factions needed. We just liked a lot of these lists. There was no, oh, it would be hilariously bad if you built it like this. They just tended to be things where either it was flavored in a certain direction, or it was generic soup, or it was, you know, generalist, something that gives you an alternate way to play a faction.
Yeah, there were obviously a couple detachments that were just like kind of terrible.
Yeah, there's some very mid ones, whatever.
But like, it's not really fun to make a meme list about a detachment like that.
Yeah, if it's just boring, it doesn't count. Let's get into a step up to something where there is some funniness that you can do with these lists. So let's go to Eric's CSM, because he cannot wait to play EC right now. I gifted him over 2,000 points of unpainted Slanesh demons this weekend. I can't wait to see him paint them.
All right, so CSM, I like Noise Marines, all right?
Yes, you do.
So the initial start was, let's throw in 3 units of Noise Marines. And then I saw there was an error, and I was like, oh, fuck, what now? Right, you can only include up to 500 points. So we'll have 2 groups of 10 and a group of 5. But yeah, so start off with 2 groups of 10 Noise Marines and a group of 5. And then, Noise Marines are fun at shooting. So I figured, let's add some Havocs, because I enjoyed the autocannon and the las cannon. I feel like I'd probably split it in some way, like not all of one or the other, but it would really depend. But yeah, since we have 3 groups of 5 there, we can split up those auto cannons or las cannons as needed. And then obviously let's add a couple obliterators, just because like flesh metal guns, right? That's metal. Very cool. So let's get 3 groups of 2 on those. And we're starting to build up some points there, but obviously we need like something, a bit solid. We'll grab a 5 mana Terminators, toss a sorcerer with them, and at the same time we need somebody to actually lead this,
So we're in Fabius Bile's detachment, Creations of Bile.
which is why Abaddon the Despoiler is leading this.
What makes you this way? Also, for a behind-the-scenes look, if anyone wants to go back to last week's episode, check when we were talking about CSM at the end, knowing what we had planned for this week's episode, and you'll have fun with that context going back there and seeing what we were saying.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the list, and I had a bit extra points, so just 5 more Terminators, because sure.
So this is, to put this in context, Eric, would you like to read the Creations of Bile pertinent part of the rule?
So the detachment rules, it's kind of dumb. It's really complicated in a silly way that adds this randomness to it and talks about Fabius Bile for some reason. But all you really need to know is you just choose 6, and it improves the ballistic skill characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by this model by 1.
And you can do this on all of your infantry units.
Yeah, so any of your Heretic Astartes infantry that are not damned, which is my list. A complicated detachment rule that's not terrible. So yeah, CSM, Creations of Bile.
It's a very funny, obviously not how this was intended, since there are 5 abilities that help melee and 1 for ranged. And you're like, all right, I'm going to ignore this, and this entire detachment just reads +1 to ballistic skill. Let's go.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, obviously this one is a meme, because even a bunch of the strats and stuff like that, you're not getting anywhere. But also kind of fun.
It is definitely the unintended way to play this when you're reading through everything this gives you access to. It is heavily melee focused in stratagems, in enhancements, in detachment rule, so it's fun to do the alternate build. I actually think this would unironically be a fun list to pilot at least once.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just cool looking.
The Noise Marines Blastmaster single frequency or whatever.
Yeah, the kaboom.
Yeah, so it's kind of 4-up BS, strength 9, AP 2, damage 3 attacks.
It's heavy, right?
Yeah, heavy.
So you can get it all the way down to 2 if you stand still.
Yeah, and that starts getting kind of scary at 48-inch range.
Mm-hmm.
This honestly has a lot of damage output.
Yeah, because a Blitz do good damage. Havocs are obviously anti-tank to begin with. Terminators have some decent... Can't they do combis?
Yeah, they've all got combi weapons.
And 2 of them can have special weapons, right?
It's only 1 gets a heavy weapon.
Okay, I thought it was 2.
Per 5.
That's pretty good.
But even for them, combi bolters are still, they're something. And once they close, you still have Creations of Bile for all the actual melee stuff.
They actually use the detachment.
Yeah, it honestly looks like a fun list to do, but very much unintended. Abaddon the Despoiler, not supposed to be the only leader in this.
Do you know the screwed up part of this list, Eric?
What?
We are 2 Obliterators and the Noise Marines away from being able to play this with the CSM lots that I bought.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, yeah.
I have the Abaddon as a Demon Prince of my Thousand Sons already, so you just move that over there. And
Interesting.
I still think it's probably better to not do Abaddon, but the Abaddon was hilarious since it was named character in the Bile detachment. We're choosing Bile, right? Right?
Right. For some reason, Bile's name is written as Abaddon. It's real weird. Yeah. All right. Moving on from CSM, what do you have for Custodes?
Do you like walker units? Do you like cool Custodes being badasses? Well, I've got you half covered.
All right.
So this detachment obviously wants you to play a bunch of Custodes vehicles, specifically a double buffs walkers with a couple things, but just generally Custode vehicles. Originally, I just wanted to max out and take 12 Custode dreadnoughts of various varieties and call it a day. Unfortunately, that is still over 2,000 points. So I could take like 11 or 10 of them.
And then be in a weird like point bracket of like you're just missing a bunch of points or whatever.
It wanted you to play like a couple units of sisters, like looking at the list, even if you were to meme. I was like, no, that's not what we're doing. So I call back to an old one we did of Space Marines, where I did the no Space Marine in sight list. This is Custodes without a single Custode or sister model. It is a pair of Telemons upgraded to characters, one of which is the Warlord, and I gave it an enhancement. Then we have 2 Achilles Dreadnoughts, 2 Galatis Dreadnoughts, a Caladius Grav Tank, a Pallas Grav Attack, and an Ares Gunship because I couldn't resist it.
And that's where things started falling apart to
They
me.
really fell apart quick at the end there, but it's a vehicle.
I was like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, yeah, those couple grav attack tank things, sure. Waiting for like the normal dread to show up and then fucking Ares gunship out of nowhere.
Yeah, so I was reading through the detachment rule again, and it gets to that part where it's like non-aircraft, and I'm like, the fuck? And then I remembered the stupid 600-point aircraft that you have access to at Custodes that doesn't fit in half the deployment zones that have ever existed. And I was like, oh, well, that's in the list. So here is your Custodes list with 0 custodians and 0 sisters visible.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Do you want to know the real meme that I didn't let on, Eric?
What?
Looking at this list, what do you think the real meme is?
I mean, it's Forge World.
I'll give you a hint. It's a callback to a different list. Eric, how many points is an Ares gunship?
580.
Eric, how many dollars is an Ares gunship?
580.
555.
Is it really?
Yup.
Holy fuck. I mean, like, I was like, there's no way it's actually 580, right? But I'll say the number because you're leading me that way.
No, this list is over $1,600 for the cheapest army in the game. This is a list you could build instead of building like a $400 legal list.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's all Forge World, so like, don't.
This is kind of the point I was making last episode when I said by no means should you ever run out and buy a bunch of Forge World dreads to play this thing. They are all very close to $1. Yeah, don't buy Forge World, kids.
Yeah, fun list. I'm sure it would do great.
I was half expecting when you saw the gunship before the episode, I was like, oh no, is it too much of a giveaway? I did 2 originally. I was like, no, he'll know something's up.
Yeah.
I was like, just 1 is like a funny fuck you. Maybe he thinks I'm just doing it because aircraft joke. I'm really glad you didn't understand the secondary reason this list exists.
I just assumed it was one of those like, haha, Forge World. Great use of money.
This is one of those lists for the like, oh honey, I'm gonna go play a 2,000 point game, sweetheart. Oh my god, it's a $2,000. No. I said points. Oh good, that would be insane if it was dollars. Right.
Yeah. Definitely not more than that. Mm-hmm.
All right, Eric, what'd you do for Grey Knights?
Okay.
For the record, Eric and I did play after we recorded last week's episode. We did say we were going to play over the weekend. We played a nice, friendly 1,000-point game to try out the new detachments before dinner. It was a lovely time. I won by 2. That's not important, but I did.
Oh, dude, I was honestly really scared at the start.
It was a really good game. It came down to literally luck of the draw, turn 5 for secondaries, and I won by 2 victory points because of actual, like, drawing the right tactical cards. But anyway.
Yeah, it was fun. And playing the sub game for Zinch was...
Oh my god, it's so fun. Flux dice are the funnest shit, man.
kind of annoying at certain times when you pulled that strat out.
Yeah.
It's like, that was bullshit. But yeah, fun game. So obviously started with that list, and that list was 10 purifiers, 10 purifiers, 10 purifiers, Castellan Crow, and I had a couple points left over, and I was like, I want to add a Venerable Dread. So that's where I started.
He wasn't terrible in that game. Now, it was a 1,000-point game, so Dreads are a bit better there, but, like, it wasn't bad.
It was fine, and, like, this detachment works out reasonably well for what they're trying to do. It's nothing special, but, yeah, they're a bit high on their cost for points. I feel like they could drop down a bit, and it would be like, okay, yes. But that's where we started, and it was like, okay, I need to get the next 1,000 points, or, like, 1,010, or whatever it is. And I'm maxed out on purifiers. Damn. So started looking at like, okay, what else can we actually do? And obviously one of the big things was I needed like units. So a 5-mana strike squad to just sit and like do back objectives and like whatever. Then I was like, you have to have a Nemesis Dread Knight because like, one, it's good.
Yeah, it's like the correct way to play this. The unfun way is you take purifiers in 5s just to spread out the buff they cause so that you can then spam your best units and get the buff from the purifiers.
Yeah. You basically just have the purifiers act as an aura to make your Dread Knights always reroll hits. And like, that's still going to be a fun list, but it's not the list I want to run.
No, so that's why this kept 750 points or whatever of purifiers.
Yeah.
Plus Crow.
Yeah, so I still enjoy the Dread Knights. Like, so one of them, and, you know, sitting with, like, the Dreadnought, so, like, I got a little bit of armor going on there. It'll be fun to buff them up a little bit with the purifiers. And then one of the things was, like, because we were playing at 1K, but also because, like, there's just not that many units, it didn't really make sense to do the Castellan Crow, like, drop-in bomb kind of thing. So I was like, okay, let's have some options on what we actually want to, like, drop in, like how we want to do that. And one of the biggest bombs that you can drop is Keldar Drago in a Paladin squad. So can either use them as just like the core to the army,
like an anchor piece, yeah, like your actual anvil,
or use them as like a threat. These are going to ruin you if you don't screen properly your back line.
What's the upside to Paladins over going Brotherhood Terminators? It's a meme list. I don't know why I'm analyzing this like it's going to be a real list, but
the primary thing is Paladins are just tankier.
Okay. It gives you a better anvil reason.
Yeah. It basically means that you don't have to like you can actually deploy them and just like move up the board without thinking that they're immediately going to get blown up, because if their strength is greater than your toughness, subtract 1 from the wound roll. I think that's what it is. It's something like that. Whereas the Terminators just are a bit more killy. But like Keldar Drago and a group of 10 Terminators or Paladins are already pretty killy. I'm not too worried about their melee.
Especially when either way you're getting the rerolls, yeah.
Yeah, especially if I'm like properly in hollowed ground with the purifiers and like all that stuff. So yeah, and then like just a Brotherhood champion to add as needed to the strike squad, just because I had some points left over, honestly. And this gives me to 1990. Maybe there was something I could have done in a weird way, but like I didn't have enough to bring another strike squad in, so it was like, all right, fine, we'll just add the Brotherhood champion. And
I think the real answer is probably the Vendread should have been dropped when you moved point count.
Yeah, that was most likely it, because like the Venerable Dreadnought doesn't really work at 2K.
If you dropped it and the Brotherhood champion, could you have done a character Nemdread?
I mean, Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight is the same point as the non-character one. They just have different abilities. Yeah, the non-character is able to advance, shoot, and charge. But yeah, realistically, and that's the thing is like, if you were trying to make this not so much of a meme list, you'd get rid of the Dreadnought, you'd get rid of the Brotherhood champion, or maybe you'd go a little bit further on that, and you'd go, 2 more Dread Knights.
Yeah, just drop your purifiers on the not Crow ones to like 5 mans and probably get a unit of teleporty boys.
Interceptors. I was like, which one? Inceptors, Interceptors, fucking
Space Marine brain
Space
rot.
Marine bullshit. Yeah, because those are just like good. So yes, this is clearly not the optimal list.
This is kind of the problem of like, it's so easy to make a good list with a lot of these detachments that like try to make a meme list. You're like, I took a good list and I made it worse.
Yeah, but if we're playing 2K, this might be my list that I take.
Fair enough.
Just because, like, I've really, really enjoyed the purifiers, dude. Even as just a 10-man break on their own, they were fun.
And off the tail of Grey Knights, amazing Inquisition army as they are.
Technically, sort of.
Bait and switch, we're actually going to my third army.
Okay.
My third army, I kept secret from Eric because I didn't want him to read the list and figure it out in time. My third army was Orks.
Ah, nice.
So, off the heels of your Grey Knights, I've got a Big Mech, a Mech, a War Boss in Mega Armor, very normal stuff. We've got 40 Storm Boys, because why not? We're playing Tactical Brigade. Then I've got 30 Commandos, because we're all tactical. I've got a pair of trucks so that we can move some stuff around, like the Commandos, or the Tank Busters and Breakaboys, because I brought a maximum count of 18 Breakaboys and 18 Tank Busters.
God damn.
So, we're having fun. Like, it looks like a fun, crazy little list here. What do you think my theme is, Eric?
I don't know. What is your theme?
Got a lot more hammers than Grey Knights.
Yeah.
Breakaboys all have hammers. Tank Busters have 2 or 1 per squad. It's a non-zero amount per squad.
I think it's just the boss knob.
Okay, so the point is it's 21 hammers.
Yeah, it was when you brought those out on the list that I was like, oh, this son of a bitch. Because, like, you don't include that many Breakaboys and Tank Busters for no reason.
I love the new models.
This is a very cool list, though, honestly.
Yeah, but it's got 21 more hammers than Eric's Grey Knights list.
Oh,
I guess you could 20 more hammers because you could bring one on the Nemdread.
I was like, my Nemdread's got that great hammer, bro.
That's true. He's got 1 hammer in his list of Grey Knights.
Always at least one.
This We Are the Hammer garbage ends today. I'm gonna show you the hammer. So yeah, that was it. That was the joke. It's just we already did the Orc episode. I saw you were doing Grey Knights, and while we were doing the break before hitting record, I had the idea, and I was like, oh my god, I have to rush this real quick. Eric, I've got a third list after all.
I'm enjoying the subtle, I guess, joke, very subtle, of other faction, but better Grey Knights.
I could have done like a bunch of weird boys because they
Yeah.
have like 2 psychic abilities and like.
Yeah,
But no, I just wanted the hammer joke.
it's legit.
All right, so to finish us off here, Eric got the memeiest list. I hate it so much having read it already. Eric, taking the absolute best Grotmas detachment, by the way.
Let me actually look at what the fuck it's called.
It's everyone's favorite. How could you forget?
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot the Veiled Blade Illumination Force. We're at Imperial Agents.
Such a weeby name.
So we've got the Calidus Assassin, and like obviously they're all taking the upgrades that they need to take if they were supposed to take one, because that's what the detachment says. Okay.
Clearly, that's the point of what Eric's doing in this list, is those relics.
Then we've got the Calyxis Assassin, the Aversor Assassin, Inquisitor Cotiez, Inquisitor Draxus, Inquisitor Greyfax.
So we've got 3 of the assassins and the 3 named inquisitors so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, like, it's agents, right?
Yeah. So we're going agent heavy, sure.
Obviously. And, like, this is a very, it is what it is, right? So let's keep going with the Vindicare Assassin.
Thank God we got all 4. We're maximizing our army rule.
And we've got a Watch Captain Artemis.
Okay. We're doing every named character, I guess, sure.
Yeah, I just went down that little checkbox list and was like, bang, 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 bang. All right, let's make sure we've got the enhancement. Good job. Nailed it. Then we've got an Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
An Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
A Ministorum Priest.
Oh, no.
Another Ministorum Priest.
Oh, no.
Third Ministorum Priest.
Yep.
Then we've got a Navigator and another Navigator and the third Navigator, obviously.
Of course.
Don't forget about our 4 of for the Rogue Trader Entourage and another one, because they want to be an entourage together. So we'll make sure that they're doubled up. And we've also got 2 Watchmasters.
This list is all characters, isn't it?
No.
That's the best part.
That would be too much of a meme, Brad. That would be no effort at all.
That's the best part of this entire list. Eric, what are your last 2 units?
My last 2 units are 2 Corvus Black Stars.
I fucking hate you.
It's not all characters, Brad. There's 2 Corvus Black Stars here as well.
Yeah.
This was brilliance, truly. I astound myself.
The worst part is it's so many individual units, it's actually annoying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they're all getting blown off the board immediately. Like, you could split fire and kill multiple characters. Your opponent is slamming assassination.
There are a couple here that are like, they could take a hit. A bunch of them, though, you could probably split fire and be reasonably guaranteed to kill both of them. It's dumb, but so perfect for this detachment. This is clearly what they had intended when they put together the Veiled Blade Elimination Force.
This is the Agents of the Imperium Codex summarized, basically, is like... What's that stupid character model we made for an art piece a while back that we still technically sell? Give it rules too. Do it again. Boy, I sure am glad that we have 800 characters randomly in the Imperium.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't even have Eisenhorn. Is he Legends now?
I think so, yeah. Unless I'm incorrect. I assumed he was.
He's fine cast, so there's a possibility they just removed him when they did the Codex.
Yeah.
Well, that was 6 lists, increasing in levels of stupidity. I'm very fond of it. Honestly, all 3 of mine for the various jokes. The Drukhari list is just cool.
Yeah, I feel like similar of mine of like, I enjoy that card list and I definitely am going to play the Grey Knights one, but like there's some nonsense also in there.
Yeah.
The Grotmas Detachments, just a bunch of the initial ideas just kept going to being like, oh, this is an actual list.
Yeah, that was my problem of like, we did 7 of them in the end. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of them I just went to do and I was like, I just like this. Or it was like the Votan detachment where you're like, what do you do with this?
Yeah.
Where's the funny?
I tried one there as well and it was like, what else do I do here?
But yeah, I really love these episodes. I can't wait for, now that we're out of the 2024 6 months of literally no releases, to we're getting a bunch of codices back to back. Expect to see this series again covering a bunch of codices that have come out that we haven't covered yet.
Yeah. I mean, we've also got like several episodes that we've been delaying for the new codexes that are coming out of like, we could do that, but there's a new codex coming out very soon. How about we delay it?
One of them, the Eldar players won't believe, and I'll just leave it at that. If you like this episode type, by the way, please do me a favor and leave a nice comment about how much you enjoy it and stuff, and the rest of the YouTube pleasantries would be nice too. But just, I love doing these episodes, and it's always nice to like get the feedback on these ones.
Yeah.
The stupid lists are like very fun to make, as time consuming as coming up with these can be. Oh, and since I did an Orc detachment, we gotta talk about our new design. So we had Bricky on last time, and he was terrible at selling it because he got distracted because he doesn't know geography.
And like, it also was released a little bit late from when we released the episode because of like just timing and how it all worked out. So
yeah, so if you would like Legally Not an Orc, throwing a bucket of dice while shotting DACA at Legally Not a Space Marine,
boy, do we have merch for you.
we have the perfect merch for you. And now it's actually live. We didn't get delayed by Bricky said Virgil did it from Devil May Cry, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
So I guess Virgil has stopped delaying us, so you can actually go purchase it now. And I really love this design. If you're the type of person to like throwing buckets of dice, we made this one specifically for you.
Honestly, it's just fun looking as far as I'm concerned. And like, we've got it in, you know, zip up hoodie, shirts, normal hoodie, stickers, mug.
And because Eric did such a good job, I don't think we actually shouted this out, you can now find it at poorhammer.com, which will redirect you to our Orchid 8 site. But it works now.
Unless it doesn't, and then please let me know. It's been good for like 3 weeks now. Hopefully it's still good.
All right, with all of that done though, let's get out of here.
Sounds good.